In the last 10 years, we've had Nollywood. In the last 10 years, we've had a music industry, a revolution in the music industry. Nollywood alone, no government help, nothing, just a product of the industry and the innovative spirit of folks like you, rose from nothing to overtake Bollywood and is now the world's second largest movie industry. So Hollywood had better watch out.
We were really excited about One Young World. And the thing about it is that we had delegates coming from all over the place. And they had had a really intense week that we thought was loaded with all kinds of meaningful and serious information. And one of the things that we find with design thinking is it can be playful, even when you're dealing with substantive material. The processes for design thinking are somewhat different, and they're actually somewhat condensed from the design processes that we would use in a studio environment where we're designing products. But they're much more applicable to a wider range of problems, from policy to complex social issues that need to be dealt with in a non-linear way.
As a graduate of the Institute of African Studies at Carleton University, it was second nature for me to want to focus on sub-Saharan Africa as a potential topic. And so we opened up the idea to be focused more on poverty eradication, but including the voices of those with the lived experiences in the policies that are made to help eradicate something that is impacting them directly.
So you know the expression, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So the idea was, let's just tell a story through collages. Then they shared them with their table members. And then they started to look at, well, what are the things here that we think are the most important issues? And then they brought all of their ideas together into these 3 key points. And then we asked them to enact those, to actually do some role-playing of what that could look like in a future in which the problem already was repaired.
In sub-Saharan Africa, in many areas, there's higher cell phone access than there is access to clean drinking water. And that's something that should be taken into consideration when we're creating these ideas to try and really get youth involved. It's so important to use what is already there and seeing them as viable resources rather than just tools for communication or everyday communication.
I think for me recently I've been asking myself the question, like, I want to do something meaningful in my life, and I'm not really specifically sure what I want to focus on. And throughout One Young World, I think listening to all the different speakers, all the different missions and the ideas they've come up with, it has been really inspiring. And already I have the energy and the motivation to definitely do something. And I know now I have such a huge network of people that can help me bring that idea to life.
And so then one by one, each team presented their scenario of the future. And we had judges. And what they were looking for in the end was, how believable is this? How believable is the problem space, and how believable could the solution be?
So with this experience, I am hoping to go back to UK and have the means to practically work on all the ideas that I always had, so to make sure that they become something concrete.
As a youth myself, it was just so motivating to see people from all over the world that are in my age group that are coming together to actually make a positive social impact. And it made you look around the room and just be so energized and refreshed. And here we had people from all over the world. We had representatives from over 30 different countries in one room coming together with our on-campus community to tackle these issues, and it just was really amazing to see.
So it's really about being together, being connected. And I think that, when you think about the world today, we are way more connected as a global village than we ever have been. And to put it in perspective, one of our Dannies, our grandmas, great-grandmas in the village, who's in her 80s, had said to me at one point that she had seen more change happen in the village in the 18 months after my son's birth than she'd ever seen in her lifetime.
Well, the thing about this workshop is that I learned so much. I learned things about other countries that I had no idea about. I learned things about how people were collaborating and the different styles that people continues to communicate, and more than anything, I learned about how many people are really concerned about the problems in this world and want to solve them.
I rest so much easier after having met you, and to feel the energy from you, your commitment, your passion. You don't want it to stop. So use this to continue the dialogues in your communities, with your peers, your friends. Challenge people. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because it's through vulnerability that you're going to be able to connect and empathize and create that change.